Last time out at Cadwell Park, the 2018 Motorsport News Circuit Rally Championship was decided. Chris West and Keith Hounslow taking victory in that enigmatic 306 Maxi after a trouble-filled day. But with one round remaining, there would still be some class and overall results to be decided at the final round of the series. Chris West may have taken the title, but he was still here this weekend to try and finish off the season on a high. And our championship regulars will be joined by a number of other rapid crews here at Anglesey, all looking for a last-ditch look at glory. Straight out of the blocks and onto the first of the day's stages then, and it would be the lead for Chris West and Keith Hounslow, showing that pace that had seen them take the title this season, looking to end the season in style with one more win. The championship already in the bag, so the pressure was off, but so were the gloves. West will be in a close fight with this man, Bruce Edwards. Jim Smith alongside. The Darien was always going to be quick on these stages. It showed right from the off here though. Second place overall for now. For Bob and Paul Fowden, it would be third. The times were not as close as the leading pair though. 20 seconds off the lead after stage 2. The top spot all sewn up. The battle for second in the championship would still be close and still to be decided. Last year's champion Ian Woodhouse with Jason Leaf alongside, taking an early advantage over his closest rival, but they still had plenty more stages to fight out for that place. Will Owen and Paul Mound come out to join the championship regulars on their home rally. Fifth place for the pair at this stage, just a single second back from Woodhouse. The previous round at Cadwell Park hadn't gone too well for Pete Smith and John Millington, it was fair to say. This time, however, things were going much better in the Fiesta WRC. 6th place overall, second in the class. And here's the pair in that fight for second in the championship. Mark Kelly, Andy Baker were certainly coming out fighting. 7th place overall at this stage, only a few seconds in that championship battle with Woodhouse, but at this stage, simply not doing quite enough. Just behind Kelly on our leaderboard will be Mark Jasper and Don Wyatt, back out in the Escort, lying in 8th place overall for now. The Circuit Championship bringing out some of the big guns from previous tarmac rally. Meanwhile, for Alan Oldfield and Steve McNulty, it will be 9th, themselves a few seconds back from Jasper in the class and overall leaderboards. And rounding out our top 10 for now will be Rob Hughes and Sean Cunniff. Just a single second back from Oldfield after stage 2. So close throughout the leaderboard. So 2 stages down so far this weekend. The fights are looking close. Things really could go any which way as the event continues. On to the next loop of stages then, and it would be all change at the top of our leaderboard. Bruce Edwards and Jim Smith getting a wriggle on and taking the lead of the event now in the Darien. That lead having changed hands 3 times in 4 stages. Just as close and exciting as Cadwell this round then. Swapping places with Edwards would of course be Chris West and Keith Hounslow. 2nd place at this stage, now within 5 seconds of that Darien. Will Owen and Paul Mound would gain some time through these stages, moving up to take 3rd place now, although still around a half a minute off the lead by this stage. There's also a bit of a change around in our crews battling for that 2nd place in the championship. Mark Kelly, Andy Baker now putting down that hammer and leading the way in that fight from 4th overall. The times and the pace looking good now, as of course was the confidence. Things were still going well, meanwhile, for Pete Smith and John Millington, leading the way in the class now after some changes to the setup helped with the stage times. But it was a slip down the leaderboard for Bob and Paul Fowden, 2nd in the class now behind Smith, lying in 6th place overall. There's frustration for our outgoing champion Ian Woodhouse and Jason Leaf. Time lost. This moment on the stage would lose them valuable seconds. And in this championship, it really is all down to those vital last seconds. They end the morning well though, 7th place overall, a strong place from which to gauge a fight back. Alan Oldfield and Steve McNulty gaining a place in these stages, now moving up to 8th place, 18 seconds behind Woodhouse. They'd switched places on the leaderboard with Mark Jasper and Don Wyatt. 9th place for the pair now, but not far behind Oldfield on the times. And rounding out the top 10 now were Eric Roberts and Mervyn Williams, leading the way in Class 4 at this stage as well. Those are the fights inside the top 10. Let's take a look now outside of that top 10 leaderboard. And it will be 12th overall for Mark Roberts and Stephen Landon. 3rd place in Class 6 in that Escort Cosworth. And don't they still look so good out there on the stages? For Andrew Morris and Chloe Thomas, it will be 2nd in Class 4, 15th overall. And it was a few places back on the overall results so far for Dane Walker and Dorian Jones. Taking 3rd in the class at this stage, lucky to even be there though, after a lot of work to get the car ready after the previous round. It was a good start to the rally in Class 3 for Malcolm and Rhys Jones, leading the way in the class, lying in 24th overall. And it would be a good class lead as well for Paul Sheard and Bruce Lindsay. Is there a bad class lead? Leading the way in Class 2 in that MX-5, but this weekend will be a very close battle there, as you'd probably expect given the battles elsewhere in our leaderboard. Just behind Sheard in the class were David McMullen and Mark Melhouche, 10 seconds the difference after 4 stages. 3rd in the class at this stage belonging to Dion Rowlands and Kai Daniel Alcock, themselves only 7 seconds back from the Nova crew ahead at the midpoint in the event. It was anyone's rally so far, and it didn't matter which way you looked, the fights were on. For Jonathan Davies and Wayne Jones, it would be the lead in Class 8. Only 2 crews in the class, but they had a good advantage in that lead, one of our only comfortable crews so far in this leaderboard. For Ashley Morris and Jamie McTavish, it will be 2nd place in Class 3. Things going well for the pair so far, avoiding the tyres and the grass that seemed to be getting the better of them at Cadwell. And 3rd in that class behind Morris would be Josh Evans and Tim Gill, just less than a minute back at this stage. For Hugh Jones and William Hughes, it will be 2nd place in Class 8 to end the morning, 53rd place overall. So we're midway through the final round of this exciting championship. It's all change in the results, 4 more stages to go, and it would all be to play for. As well as the action from the senior rally this weekend, the juniors will be out competing. Drivers aged between 14 and 17 competing on the same stages in 1 litre cars. An ideal way into the sport before they're even old enough for a driving licence, and a proven route to the top of the sport as well. For Max Hughes and Chris Evans, it will be 5th place to end the rally, gaining a position throughout the day after starting 6th. And it would be a similar story for Adam Dalton and Alex Taylor, starting the day with 5th and ending it with 4th place overall. In the podium positions, it will be 3rd for Stephen Jones and Christopher Brearley. A good steady run to take that position with a good advantage over 4th. It had been a mixed bag for Elliot Payne and Simon Rogers at this round. They'd briefly led the rally for a few stages through the morning, but that would turn to 2nd place, where they'd stay for the remainder of the day. A strong finish, something to take away, a big positive from a tough rally, but still not quite where they wanted to be. So that meant it would be victory for Rob Wilson and Martin Haggett in the junior rally. Fastest out of the blocks on the opening stage, briefly losing the lead to Payne, but pulling back the time in the afternoon to take the win by just 18 seconds. So before we head back to the championship results to find out how things ended up here at Anglesey, here's a reminder of how those junior results played out by the end of the rally. Onto the final stages of the rally then, and a look at how these results have been decided. For Ashley Morris and Jamie McTavish, it will be 3rd place in Class 3. They were looking to even finish the rally though, taking the grass in a big way on the final stages of the event, but thankfully avoiding any impact. For Aaron Ricks and Rob Cook, it would be a good end to the event. 1 less accident for them this year. 3rd place in the class was theirs, as well as 35th overall. A dramatic year, but one which has ended on a high point. For Dion Rowlands and Kai Daniel Alcock, it will be second in that class, ending the rally with a good advantage over Ricks in that position as well. Despite pushing on, as we know so well he can in that MX-5, Paul Sheard, Bruce Lindsay not able to keep hold of the class lead. They end the event with a bit of a frustrating, for them at least, second in class, 27th on the leaderboard. It was a great event though for David McMullen and Mark Melhouche, the pair taking the Class 2 victory, but it was close. Only a 13-second advantage by the end of the event, but it was nevertheless McMullen advantage. A great end to the weekend for the Nova pairing. For Pete Walton and Nigel Perkins, it would be third place in Class 4, ending the rally with 16th overall. It had been a good weekend for Malcolm and Rhys Jones, taking the place of Sheard at the top of Class 3 to take victory here at Anglesey. Meanwhile, it will be second place in Class 4 by the end of the rally for this man, Andrew Morris, Chloe Thomas alongside the pair also taking the Under-23 award. It would all be changed in Class 6. We see John Clayton and Mark Perryman ending the rally with that third in the class, as well as 12th on the overall leaderboard. Moving on to our top 10 now then. It would be Mike Jewell and Paul Williams ending the rally with that 10th place, taking second in Class 6 as well. Moving on through the leaderboard as we reach the dying stages of this rally and indeed this championship, the third Motorsport News series there's been, and they get more exciting each year, as you've seen from this final round. Mike Taylor and Kat Lund step up to take 9th place through the afternoon. Kat stepping in. Usual co-driver Martin Haggett was out in the juniors, giving a bit back to the sport. And that worked in their favour as well, taking the Best Mixed Crew award this weekend. It would have been a good weekend as well for Eric Roberts and Mervyn Williams. They take the Class 4 victory as well as 8th place overall. It wasn't the victory that Will Owen and Paul Mound would have wanted on their home rally, but they do get to the finish with 7th place overall and 3rd in Class 5. For Bob and Paul Fowden, meanwhile, it would be 6th place overall. The Subaru WRC pair taking the Class 6 victory with that result as well. Frustratingly for them, despite trying ever so hard, there will be nothing more that Ian Woodhouse and Jason Leaf could do in their battle for second in the championship. The fight alone, though, testament to the courage and, of course, the skill behind the wheel that got Woodhouse that championship victory last year. They end the event with 5th place overall, sadly, a few seconds behind their rivals in that fight for second. And of course, those rivals were this pair, Mark Kelly and Andy Baker. Sam's tips for the championship this weekend, and she wasn't so far behind with that tip, was she? They take the class victory this weekend, as well as taking 2nd overall in the championship with that result. A really strong showing over the final stages of the day would see Pete Smith and John Millington ending the rally with 3rd place overall. Another podium to go with the one secured by the pair here last time out. Our newly crowned champions, Chris West and Keith Hounslow, couldn't quite make it victory for the final round. They do, of course, though, end the season in style with at least a podium finish, just 3 seconds back from the lead and a bit of champagne to spray to celebrate that championship win in style. So that, of course, means that it's victory for Bruce Edwards and Jim Smith. The Darien just edging that lead over West by the end of the day. And if you fancy doing the same, the car allegedly is for sale. So confirmation of the results then at this final round. Close battles throughout, as we've come to expect from this exciting series, and our championship crews deciding those final places. An easy job for the photographer in the end then.
Guys, what a result for you today. There was talk in the service area that you guys were the one to watch. What a drive. I mean, Bruce, how did it feel out there?
Well, it was first time here, so you're always a bit nervous, especially when the car's for sale, so you should never bring and go rallying when the car is for sale. But no, we've had a great day, and Chris has kept us very honest all day, and we've had good stages, bad stages, but it's been a fantastic day. It really has been quite good. Car's been great. Yeah.
It has been awesome to watch. I mean, the battle between you two has been spot on all day. We weren't sure right down to the last stage who it was going to be.
Seconds.
Absolutely. What's it been like from your side of the car?
It's been good.
Yeah.
Good day. Good event. And it was very variable.
Guys, it's been right down to the wire all day today. You've had a really, really good battle. What's it been like?
Yeah, no, really good. To be fair, when I got here yesterday, the circuit wasn't quite how I wanted it to be because there was some big old straights on there, and I knew we were going to struggle, especially with the Darians and stuff, and Mark Kelly bit on the straights. We've not got the power they have, and we're hitting the limit 110. But we started off really well this morning, and we just progressed from there. Really, I didn't come here to be on the podium. Really, I came to just support the championship. But we started off this morning, and then I said to him, you know what? Hell with it, we got to push. And I've had 7 podium finishes in the championship. So Cadwell was my worst score, which I'm going to drop now. So I've won the championship 7 times on the podium. I don't think anybody else has done that, so I'm over the moon.
Rubbish, you were totally after a podium finish today. Keith, it's been awesome to watch right from the word go, and you are 2018 champions. I mean, couldn't have gone an awful lot better for you, really, could it?
No, it was a great day. Yeah, we pushed really hard and just came up a little bit short at the end, but we've really tried hard today. Yeah, maximum, absolute maximum. Great drive.
Really
great
good,
drive.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Guys, you had such a good event last time we came to Anglesey. Really good event. Well, today, how has it been?
Well, for me, it's been fantastic today. Really, really good. Yeah, a fabulous stage layout, much better than we've seen in the past. So no, it's been good. And luckily, the rain's held off.
It has.
Yeah.
We even had sunshine today at Anglesey. I mean,
It's been good. The weather's been good. I was hoping it might rain, but then I was hoping it wouldn't rain. So we got better and better in the car as the day went on, which was good. Because we'd put a famous setup on the car. We'd put a Valentino Rossi Monza setup. So that was pressure on me. So I'm driving this car in the first 2 or 3 stages, thinking, well, how the hell does he drive this? But bit by bit, we got used to it. On the last stage, we were able to put it all together. So it was good. Yeah, it's very good.
that time on the last stage, I mean, that was awesome.
It was all shit or bust. Yeah. Absolutely. And through the last bit, we gave it plenty of stick. But he's very good at calling notes and holding me back where necessary.
Guys, it has been a brilliant watch today. It's been right down to the wire. I mean, I'm not even been in a car and I was on edge right up at the top, but you've got it. You've got 2nd overall in the championship. I mean, massive congratulations. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. It's been a fantastic championship. We've had our challenges along the way, but got better and better as the championship's gone on. And today, like you say, it went right down to the wire again, where we're in a podium place, and then Peter Smith just puts in probably the stage of his life to take 7 seconds out of us. But all in all, really, really delighted to finish 2nd in the championship with the calibre of drivers as well and the cars this year. So yeah, made up.
So happy for you guys. You guys were my tip for the championship from the off, and I've backed you every step of the way. I mean, Andy has just been absolutely fab, hasn't he? Really driven the pants off this car the last couple of rounds especially. How's it been from your side?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, fair play to him. Has driven the pants off it. Couldn't wish for a better driver, really. You know, it's been hard. We had some problems along the way, but 2nd in the championship, can't go wrong. So we can do one better next year, hopefully.
So that's it, the championship complete. It just leaves the awards. And we'll take a look now at how those overall and class results were decided over the course of this season. Onto the classes, it would be the victory in Class A for Aaron Ricks, taking the win by 7 points. A good turnaround after their misfortunes in the earlier rounds. They take that win over David McMullen, the Nova driver missing out after missing a few rounds of the championship. In Class B, the win would go to Paul Sheard. He'd missed a few rounds himself due to running others on events, but he did enough to secure the victory by 5 points. And it would be a victory over Ashley Morris, a good, consistent season, giving her 2nd place overall in the first season stepping up to the Fiesta. Class C would be taken by Dane Walker, a good lead in the class by the end of the season. Now the car will be taken off for a much-needed rebuild. Walker takes that win over Cathy Seward. Those pink wheels could have been the boost just needed to get second in the class in that Sunbeam. Cathy getting faster every year. In the D1 class, meanwhile, it will be our champion Chris West topping the leaderboard, 15 points of a lead by the end of the season. And that was the lead over Mark Kelly, of course, who takes second in the championship overall as well as in the D1 class. And despite missing the final round, it would be the D2 class win for John Stone. The fight for second in the championship overall had come to a premature end into the Armco at Cadwell Park, but the class victory would certainly be welcomed. Stone taking that win over John Marshall, himself having to retire before the end, but still coming away with a great result in the Subaru, worth the long trips down from Scotland. And of course, as we'd mentioned, the overall championship would be taken by Chris West this season. 3 seasons, 3 different winners so far, showing just how competitive this championship really is. Mark Kelly just grabs hold of that second place in the championship on the final round, a hard-fought battle after a tough season in the Escort. And of course, that meant that our defending champion Ian Woodhouse would miss out this season, taking 3rd place overall in the championship. Still a great result, though, to defend what had been a very competitive championship season the year before, and an even more competitive one in 2018. There are, of course, plenty of other awards, both drivers and co-drivers, and you can view the full results on the championship's website. So that's it for this season. The championship returns in November, and if the past 3 seasons have been anything to go by, it will be bigger, better, and even more competitive. If you can't wait till then, all of the coverage from this season, and indeed the previous 2, is online to watch again in full. And you can keep up to date with the new season's news as we get it. Thank you for watching Special Stage. We drove, we won, we conquered. Circuit rallying left its mark for the 3rd season in a row. Where do we go next?